Turn to Iran, because there's also developments in Iran this week. ABC's Jonathan Karl reported that the Pentagon officials are concerned that Israel could attack Iran's nuclear facilities this year. One official told him, "We are in the window of vulnerability, and there's an increasing likelihood that Israel will carry out such an attack." Are you worried about that? Is there anything the United States can do about it?
Well, I'm concerned, and I think I reflect the concerns of many military leaders, that there are no very good military options with respect to...
But do you agree there's a greater likelihood that Israel will go this year?
I think the likelihood is a function really of not just what the Israelis do, but we do in a very positive sense of engaging the world diplomatic community in a concerted effort to try to move the Iranians away from the development of nuclear fuel cycle. And I think that has to be done with very deliberate and very effective action by the White House, by the Secretary of State, by others. I didn't think that's not something that's just an idle exercise. That has to be done. That has to be a predicate to anything further that's done there.
So should the U.S. put up a yellow light or a red light and say, Israel, don't act
I can tell you what, from the military commanders I've spoken to, the yellow lights are blinking very, very quickly. In fact, I think even it might be a flashing red, because the consequences in the region would be significant, and they would be region-wide. There would be a reaction. I think there would be a very adverse reaction. And I think we have to seize the time, as short as it might be. We have to seize the time for a diplomatic approach, sincerely. And one of the things we have to do is engage the Russians, because they're one of the key players. And I think some of the policies of the administration, particularly trying to put missile systems in Poland and Lithuania, has distracted them from consciously, sincerely concentrating on one issue, which is getting the Russians to help us in Iraq.
Flashing red light?
I think there's a caution light. Look, the good news is that the American and Israeli militaries, intelligence, community, government work very closely together. The fact that there's a stark reality here, which is that no matter what the international community has done, the Europeans negotiated for 2 years with the Iranians. We have just made them an offer to begin negotiations again, if they will not stop permanently, but temporarily suspend their uranium enrichment program as a sign of good faith. The Iranians have consistently said no.
They say they won't, so should Israel attack?
Well, that's up to Israel, obviously, but I would say that obviously Israel is first in the line of Iranian fire, and it represents an existential threat to Israel. But you know who's next? The Arab countries in the Middle East. And they're worried about the Iranian program and want us to act strongly to stop it. And we're next, because Ahmadinejad in Tehran constantly leads the mobs in shouts of death to America. And they mean it. So I think right now we have to pick up the strength of our sanctions against them. The U.S. Treasury Department has been very strong in squeezing the Iranian economy. I think we've got to now, with particularly the banking sector, we've now got to move to the insurance sector and even to countries that are selling them gasoline, because the clock is ticking. Everybody says we can't let Iran become a nuclear power. I agree, but at some point, we, pursuant to United Nations Security Council resolutions that demand that Iran stop its nuclear enrichment program, they have to believe that we may take military action.
We have just a couple minutes.